Hi, my name's Paul and welcome to my video tutorials. What we're going to be doing is looking at the basics purely to just create a workbook. From there we're going to progress and we're going to go right up to where you'd be experienced enough to be able to populate information from one workbook to another and to run formulas. So I hope you enjoy this and keep watching the videos. First thing you need to do is select the cells you want to merge. So if we select those, everything that's highlighted is now mergeable. So you can do two options. You can have a right click on your mouse and select format cells. Now if this doesn't come up in alignment and it comes up in number, as you can see on the top there, just select alignment. Where it says merge cells on the left, put a tick in that box and select OK. It's now merged everything within that area. Again, if you want to select cells, doesn't have to be so many, it could be just them. And where it says merge and center here, on the drop down menu, you've got a couple of options. Click on merge cells, which will just merge them into one, or merge and center, which will merge and any text you type in will instantly center it. But as it says there for an example, just have a look at that and it'll come self-explanatory. So select merge and center, and if I type in hello, it'll be in the center. There you go. If I want to put a border around, I'll put a border around. Okay, it's quite straightforward to move cells, literally giving you two examples. The text on the bottom one here and the text on the top one here. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this particular cell, which is K6, into D6. So again, I select K6 cell. I move my mouse to the outer edge. It doesn't matter which edge, it can be any of the edges. So I move it to the left and straight away I'm given the option I can move it north, east, south, west. So if I hold the mouse down and move it across, you'll see the box is moving with my mouse. And it's also telling me the grid reference of the cell it's going to be entered into. So I'm going to move that to D6, and as soon as it hits D6 I can release it. But just watch what will happen. It'll ask me, do I want to do that because there's text in that cell. And if you notice where the text was, the text here is at the top, the text here is at the bottom. So if I move the text over, all the formulas that were in K6 are now going to end up in D6. That includes the colour, the font, the style, the position of the text, everything that was in that cell. And basically it'll overwrite the cell that's already existing. So if I let the mouse go, there's already data here. Do you wish to replace it? If I hit cancel, nothing will happen. It'll just as if we didn't move anything. If I click OK, that will become clear and that one will become the blue. There you go. So moving cells, quite straightforward. Again, if you want to move that cell back to that cell again, as soon as I let go, it'll just move it because there's nothing in that cell. There you go. Straightforward. Okay, so we've literally just moved the cells. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to colour cells. And it's quite straightforward. This particular cell at the moment is in this colour here. Now, there's two options. You've got these options here, which are automatically coloured, so you can select any one of them. As you hover your mouse over, you get the option to select just by clicking on that particular colour. However, the magic begins when you come over here. If you click on this little drop down menu, you've got again the straightforward colours, okay, and the standard colours along the bottom. You can select any one of these, or no fill is basically where it's going to be clear. White and no fill are two different options. The other option is you can click on more colours, which will open up a colour chart. You've got your standard colours here and you've got your custom colours here. So you can actually make a custom colour by moving this slider up and down, and if you wanted to select a particular colour from a Pantone chart, then you can select the colour options by putting them into here, which will bring you a colour up here. So for the sake of the video, we're just going to select a standard colour and click OK. That colour is now chosen. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually format it a little bit further. So if you wanted to, you could actually gradient it. And all you do is you go into Format Cells from the drop down menu, and in here you've got the options across the top. If you click on Fill and Fill Effects, but just before I do that I'm just going to show you, in this option you can select those colours standard again, but in this particular one you've got what you call greying effects. So you've got your dots and your lines and your verticals. So you don't necessarily have to have a colour, you can actually just gradient it by using this option. But what you can do is you can click on Fill Colours, Fill Effects here, which will bring up these options where you can actually do a gradient. So for example, if we select this one, you've got the option to select the first choice of colour. I'll just select any one at random, and the second colour, which is that one there. So that's the one we used. Click OK and click OK again. If you selected Merge Cells and did the same again, because this is one cell that's merged, it'll just be the same as this but bigger. But I'll show you something. Because this is one cell, if I unmerge it, you will end up with lots of small cells. There you go. So you could actually create a wild pattern if you wanted to. If you wanted to put that back to merged, there we have it. So straightforward. Placing a border around a cell is quite straightforward. Literally just select a cell, go up to here, and from this drop down menu click any one of them and it'll put a border around or a line round. So if you select a thick border, it'll put a black thick border around. If you select a smaller border, which is outside border, if you select a couple of cells and just want the cells around all of those particular cells, want a border around all of those cells, click outside border. If you wanted to create a grid, click in all borders,